have to go very quickly to Labour's shadow education secretary. Then I'll come back to you, Rod, if that's all right. Bridget, don't stay there. Bridget, a very good morning to you. I never thought I'd say this. So a Labour politician on College Green in London is telling me that your leader will today say that patriotism is more your bag than the Tory bag. That's brave, isn't it?
No, I don't think it is. I think it demonstrates how Keir Starmer has changed the Labour Party. We're really proud of our country, proud of what we've achieved, and part of what I'm talking about today is how we make sure that we support the next generation of sporting heroes and give our young people the chance to take part in sport, because it's often through our national team, through our sporting activity, that we feel a really strong sense of pride in our country.
Bridget Phillipson, what would you say to people who might criticise this policy as saying that this is a kind of new tact for the Labour Party and that you're just jumping on a so-called patriotic bandwagon?
For election votes?
No, we feel a real sense of pride in our country, and what I want to make sure is that children and young people have the chance to take part in sport. We do that by ending the tax breaks that private schools enjoy. We put that money into state education, because part of the big gap that we've seen opening up in recent years is that often within private schools, young people have much greater opportunities to take part in sport and physical activity, and that's not the case to the same degree within our state schools. And I'm also really worried.
There's two things here, and two separate things, and I really, I really appreciate, because I think this side of the argument is important. We had this last week, Bridget. We were talking to a colleague of yours. The problem with the taking the VAT breaks and putting that into state education, there's one thing that nobody in the Labour Party will answer me. Many people who choose to spend their money privately educating their kids, and many people who suffer. It's not just all the very rich. My parents made that decision, and they did that for 15 years. Those people are going to go into comprehensive schools and not private education. That's going to make the system even more difficult to finance. So are you not going to be creating an even bigger problem by doing what you're doing in private schools?
No, I don't accept that. And to your point about the choices that parents make, of course parents will seek to do what's best by their children, will seek to do what they regard as the right thing, and I'm not going to stop that from happening. We all want the best for our kids. I want the best for kids in state schools. That would be my priority if I were Education Secretary in a Labour government. But to the point about the impact that this will have, if you look at the research that the Independent Institute for Fiscal Studies have carried out, the report that they publish and all of their analysis, they're clear that this policy would raise £1.3 to £1.5 billion. Now, that is an awful lot of money that we could put into our state schools. And what they also concluded was that they didn't believe that there would be the big kind of change that you've just described now in terms of the choices that parents make, because fees in private schools have gone up way beyond inflation year after year after year, and it hasn't made a difference there.
OK.
Bridget Phillipson, you're saying that now Labour are kind of running this campaign, certainly this morning, the press release, that the Labour Party are going to be more patriotic than the Tory party. What is patriotism?
It's a sense of pride in your country's achievements, but it's also a determination to make sure that you've got hope and opportunity there for the next generation too. And at the moment, it doesn't always feel especially hopeful as a country. And certainly when I speak to people across the country, they want to get a sense that our best days lie ahead of us. And that's what we would be determined to do if we win the next election and we form that next government, to make sure that there is hope and opportunity in every corner of our country. And in terms of my responsibilities as Education Secretary, it's about ensuring that no matter where you're from, you have every chance to succeed and to thrive in life. And sadly, for too many children, that's not their experience right now. But Labour has changed as a party. We are proud of our country.
I mean, that's the point, Bridget, I was trying to make. I'm old enough. You're certainly not old enough. I remember Michael Foot wouldn't go to the cenotaph. He wouldn't wear a poppy. We had Corbyn. I mean, the Labour Party of today, from 4 years ago, is absolutely unrecognisable. The issue that you have is to convince the people, the sceptics, that red wall, whatever you want to call it, that you are the party of a strong defence and fiscal responsibility. And it can't be that difficult, because the Tory government's got the highest taxation in 70 years and this country seemingly is on its backside. So that's why we have you on, because I think people need to understand. I think there is, Bridget, still cynicism, but I suspect that people are beginning to listen, and so they should, because our country matters to us. There you are.
There you are. I just want to put...
I hope so.
Well, that's the point, and you lot speak, and that's important.
Bridget, on the topic of patriotism, there's a poll out today in the Daily Mail saying that 1 in 8 Labour voters think that the St George's Cross is racist and divisive and shouldn't be displayed. Your response to that poll?
Well, I don't agree. I mean, it's our flag. It belongs to all of us. It's part of our shared national identity and the sense of pride that we have in our country. So that is very much not my view. And I think people should fly the flag with pride.
Bridget Phillipson, thank you so much indeed. Shadow Secretary of Education. And when you get into government, you better come back here.